question I often get is why commercial lending is easier than residential. And I want to give you one reason today that makes all the difference. There's a lot of other reasons, and definitely I talk about them and I go through them in depth and in detail in a lot of my other videos and programs. So the biggest reason is they analyze the property, the asset, not you, the borrower. So I'll give you an example of this. If I wanted to buy a home, and let's say it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, the bank is going to look at me, the individual, how much money I make, my tax returns, what kind of savings do I have, what kind of job history do I have, what do I do, and how long have I been doing it, my credit score. We're really going to dig in deep. Now, sometimes that could make or break the deal, right? If you make enough money, it could be good. Could be good. Maybe your credit score is not so good. So they go back and forth on this thing, right? So everything has to line up, and sometimes they make exceptions. But the bottom line is they're going to look at you, the individual. Now, let's suppose you're financing a commercial property. It can be a retail, multifamily, it doesn't really matter. Commercial lending is what I'm specifically referring to. If you bring in a commercial property, is based on the income that it generates. So the bank is not as interested in you. Now, they don't want to see that you're out of bankruptcy or anything like that. They want to see you're all right. They want to see your credit score, the usual stuff. Depending on the property, sometimes they won't even ask for your tax returns. If the property is really bringing in stellar income, I've had a lot of times the bank hasn't even asked about any of your personal tax returns, your financials. Maybe they'll want to see a personal financial statement of you and maybe your partners, who's going on, but the property has to support the debt that's put on it. If you're buying a $2 million building and the mortgage is coming in, the bank knows you're not going to be the one writing the check if the property doesn't cash flow. They're not looking at you. They're looking at your tenants. They're looking at your leases. They're looking at the overall picture, right? What can you do with this asset? What can you do with this property? So a lot of times commercial lending is much, much easier than residential lending just for that reason. Now, here's another key thing. If you buy 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 commercial properties, it's the same formula. Now, I want you to think about your residential portfolio. After a couple of them, it gets a little harder to get lending extended to you because they're looking at this overall picture and you're the sole person that's guaranteeing everything. And that's what really needs to happen. You need to shift your thinking a little bit. Commercial lending is much, much easier, and I hope that was a good tip for you. And that's all I got for you. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, leave comments, questions. I love to answer them. Thank you so much for watching.